Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Alright, so for our last spooky game of the series, we're doing some Mario Kart. And where are my splits? 3, 2, 1. Alright, so there was a very important strat there. I held R when I pressed OK. I will explain why later. But this is our last spooky game. It's very spooky because we're a giant skeleton. Alright, so this is Mario Kart 8. I'm doing bonus tracks because I didn't want to submit a longer category, and this is the one that I was practiced in. So this is the one we're doing. Normally I don't use Dry Bowser since he's a super heavy, but it's essentially the same as the tier right below him, which is the one that I use, which is Waluigi and DK. So all the stats should be more or less the same. It's very, very minor differences. But yeah, these were the DLC tracks released in Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, and then they just ported them over to the Switch when they made this game. So yeah. Oh my god, the map is off. This course is shaped like a Yoshi. Why is the map off? Whatever. Just use your imagination or draw out the course as I'm driving on it, and you'll see a Yoshi. Also, there's like the Yoshi helicopter in the top left that is gone now. Ribbon Road is coming, don't you worry. Third last course though, so you'll have to wait a tiny bit. Alright, so I actually just PB'd in this yesterday with a 3611, which puts me in 9th place for the category. The category I'm doing is 150cc no items. Bonus tracks, obviously. So there are two, like, basically modes that a lot of people run, which is 150 or 200. 150 is easier to get into and also has a higher skill ceiling than 200. 200 looks cooler though, and is, you know, more gratifying if you can do it well. But I stick to 150. And then items versus no items. The only difference is that in items there's like basically you just get dicked on for 4 minutes of time by getting hit by everything. It's not a good time. People who run items have way bigger balls than I do. So this is our next spooky course, which is Excite Bike Arena. This one's scary because it's a reminder that we're never getting another Excite Bike game. It's more like an existential dread sort of thing than actual spooky scary. So one thing you'll see me do, which I'm actually doing pretty poorly at right now, is I'm trying to get coins. So coins raise your max speed. If you have 10 coins, it raises by 6.6%, which is still considerable enough. Unfortunately, so this track actually is randomly generated each time you play it. Other than time trial, it's always the same. But each time you play it, it's randomly generated. So there's not exactly a coin route, you just need to sort of figure it out as you go. I'm actually getting a really weird pattern because of that that one jump is in a weird place, but we'll manage. There's always some structures that are similar. Like there's always that one ramp with the straightaway after. Oh no! I touched the dirt. So the build I'm using is the Biddy Buggy and the Roller Wheels. It's basically been the meta since for a while now, actually. Definitely in 200cc. In 150cc, we used to use super heavies, so either Dry Bowser or Wario. But they switched to lighter characters, which give a better mini turbo stat. But Dry Bowser is still fine. He has the best. He has the highest top speed. So it's pretty nice we're using him, and that's why I'm using him instead of like King Boo or Dry Bones, which would be equally spooky scary. Also, his like back lights up when he ever does a trick, which is cool. Anyways. Alright, so Dragon Drift is pretty neat. There is a really cool skip that's also extremely hard, and I'm not able to do it, so we're going to forego that for now. And for the next little while until I actually learn it. But right here, if you go straight, you can sort of like jump over this gap, and you end up like right around here. And it looks really cool, and it's extremely hard, but it does save quite a bit of time, like 7 seconds or something. And 7 seconds is a lot in a racing game. Like, you don't really lose time unless you do a mistake. Like, actually, for a good comparison, my sum of best is 7 seconds better than than my personal best. So 7 seconds is definitely a lot. Ah, I'm to the right of that those ramp jumps because you can actually hit all 3 of them and get tricks off of them that way. But if you go right in the middle, you can only get 2 of them, which is weird physics, but we don't question it. Oh, that was scary. Okay, missed that one, but you guys get the point. All right, so Mute City. Mute City and Big Blue have a weird mechanic where it's like sort of water mechanics, but like not as pronounced. Wait, is there no game audio? What? Uh, is it my end or what? Damn, this is a banging soundtrack too. I'll check after this race if it's me or. Oh my god, I fucked it up. All right, so there's a strat there that I try to go for. It should be as consistent with Dread Bowser. In theory, anyways. I'll go for it again. It looks cool if you do it, so. And also, if you hit it twice, it breaks even with missing it once, so. Hopefully we'll get lap 2 and 3. Although I do only practice it with Waluigi. So, we'll see. There we go. Just like that. So you're supposed to use mushroom there. Obviously we don't have mushrooms since this is no items. So we make do without. There we go. 1 2 1 2. No, okay, so there's no audio coming from my end. Why is this?
Whoa, I think you're dead, dude.
I'm dead? What? Oh my god, no. Why is this at 0? Alright. I stopped the stream. So I just started it again. Yeah, while we're here, I'm actually just gonna restart the Switch because there was no audio coming through. There's still no audio, what? Okay. I'll restart my cameras. To go. Let's pretend the timer never stopped. That's... I know. Alright, so... To be fair though, my estimate's generous, so I'll probably still be underestimating. But we'll survive. Yeah, Warrior's Gold Mine's pretty straightforward, so So one thing that really differentiates better runners from less good runners is the lines that you take. So obviously, you know, you want to cut corners as close as possible. I don't do them as close as I could, first of all because I'm in a marathon run, but also because if you... Dude, I love when people... And there we go. Alright, so Rainbow Road's relatively tough. There are a few... Much better. Okay. Ooh. Barely clipped me. Alright, we're fine. Not as good as it could have been, but honestly, I've had worse rainbow rows. Okay, SSL also has a few tricky jumps. The one in the middle isn't too bad, but the one at the end is more, a little more rough, so we'll see how they go. Although I've practiced it enough that it should be consistent. I don't open my mouth. We'll call that close enough. There we go, that's what it looks like. We were running behind, so I ended up cutting two of the gyms out of Pokemon Stadium, so it was like 1:30 something. Because we were like 40 minutes behind when I started, but that patched it up. Good level, good level. Yeah. Yeah. We need the marathon back on track, and I also want to go to bed. So, they were the two less interesting marathon gyms anyways, because you literally just one-shot everything. Fuck. I wonder, there's a few places like that last turn right there. You can charge up in Ultra Mini Turbo, which is the purple one. But Dry Browser has a worse Mini Turbo stat, because that is the stat. So I'm not sure if it's as optimal in doing that or just the orange one. Because sometimes it is better to do a Super Mini Turbo instead of an Ultra. It ends up being faster because you don't need to charge it as long. It depends on the turn though, obviously. I'll go with one I know though. Okay. So there's also a pretty interesting mechanic. It's called soft drifting. Basically, so if you hold left or right, you charge your mini turbo faster. But there's sort of like a range where you can hold left or right that will charge your mini turbo at like the max speed. So basically, if you want to charge it the fastest, you don't want to use like a straight left or right angle. Use a straight left or right angle. Um, and you end up not turning. As sharp, but you can still charge as fast as you can. Hmm. I blame me too. Don't worry. So one thing that I haven't mentioned, but sometimes when you go off these blue ramps, it's better to charge a mini turbo and then let it go in the air. You get more out of your mini turbo with that. You'll see me doing that a lot. Not used as much in DLC tracks, but it is used in Nitro and bonus a lot, and 48 obviously. I just blame Canada internet. It's pretty trash unless you have like fiber. Or if you're like somewhere close to Toronto and you get lucky. Alright, what's the timer at? Out of curiosity?
2600.
We'll be fine. This might be like 41, 42 minutes. Just a fair warning. 2610. No, we might still be underestimated if this runs good. Fuck. No, things like that keep happening. The reason you want to jump to the left there is to get extra coins. You don't actually do that on the other laps if you have all your coins. Also, cutting that corner is a lot harder than it looks. Ah. I was making sure I wasn't dropping frames. Wasn't paying attention. We're fine. So I'll get my rest of the coins here. Should be getting 10 after this. Yeah, there we go. Alright, preferably you get 10 on lap 1, but not always possible if you're bad. Nice. Alright. I actually like Wildwoods a lot. Yeah, that's about all I have to say on it. I think I'm like 4 seconds or 5 seconds off the time trial record, but I don't do time trials with mushrooms. So it would save another like 1.5 to 2 seconds, so it's pretty close. Don't want to gloat, but I'm pretty okay at this game. So before the run started, I mentioned that I held R. That's actually to manipulate which season you get here. So we want nice. We want summer because summer's the fastest. Winter is the slowest by far, and then I think in 200cc rather, they use spring. Just because the ramps are in different places. So here we have a ramp on the beach. And then winter just has snow physics everywhere, which really sucks. But we're chilling. So sometimes it's actually better to keep using the glider and not touch the ground as fast. The glider's faster than driving when you're under 6 or 7 coins, depends on your build. But if I have 10 coins, then I'll just get to the ground as fast as possible and start driving. Save a bit more time. There we go. Alright, 4 left. We can do this without dropping again. Just gotta believe. Alright, so Neobo city's raining, and whenever the ground's wet, it sort of has ice physics. It's not as potent as like actual ice, but you definitely slip a lot more here. And you definitely notice the difference when you go from like here, which is raining, to in here, which is dry, and you actually turn when you want to turn. So there you need to brake, or else you just go flying off the side. It's a bad time for everyone involved. Alright, that's fine. Hitting walls can like kill all your speed if you do it at a bad angle, but you just bonk them like that, it's not too bad. Okay, you can actually take that turn significantly tighter. It's hard to do that with the orange mini turbo, especially with Dry Bowser, because his mini turbo stat isn't as good as other characters. And people realize that mini turbo is more important than top speed, anyways. But now we're doing fine. Okay. That's one of the harder courses in this track, but still pretty good. Speaking of hard courses, I'm gonna mess up a course. It's gonna be this one because it has 2 jumps that are. The first one's not too bad, but the second one's pretty scary. We'll see what happens. Although failing this the second jump on this track isn't too bad. I don't like that. There we go. Alright, if I can get 2 out of 3, I'll be happy. Actually, my last PB was the first time that I got 3 out of 3 on this track. And even then I failed once in Meat City. Yeah, Meat City. There we go. Not bad. We'll take it. Okay, so Super Bell Subway's next. This track has 2 subways on a cycle, and depending on which cycle it is, one of them's a lot easier than the other. So we'll see what we get. Get out of here. I don't think this is the good cycle. It's definitely not the good cycle. Okay. That's fine. So we'll be a bit slower because there's on the second, on one of the laps, there's a start. No, on the third lap, yeah. That's a bit slower because you need to go like completely around the trains, as opposed to like cutting between them. But that's fine. It's not more than like 2 seconds slower, so we're chilling. That cutting between those trains is also a lot easier on the other cycle, but yo, if you can do it, you can do it. There we go. Alright, last track. We're at Big Blue. This track is scary because it's a reminder that we're never getting another F-Zero game. This track's actually really cool though. So it's one continuous track, it's not a loop. But it also has a lot of cool mechanics in it, so we'll be touching on those as well. And same thing as Mute City, it sort of has water mechanics, but like not really. Or not as strong anyways. But this one doesn't matter as much. There's a few cool skips, cool skips you can do with it though. Fuck. Nice. That's the first one. Technically they're called no item shortcuts and not skips, but that's 1 minute left. Damn. Pressure's on. We'll give it a good college try. Alright, time's coming up by the way. When I cross the finish line. And time. Give me the good news.
3 seconds underestimate.
Damn, I'm good. So that was bonus tracks. Yeah, there's 3 separate like track categories, I guess. So Nitro, Retro, and bonus. So that was the bonus tracks. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And I will pass the torch on and go to bed. Good